pero no lo es. Yeah. Hola, quiero que tú sepas que te quise amar, pero la inmadurez me la jugó. Baby, eso no lo quería, no, no, no. Yeah, yeah. Hola, quiero que tú sepas que te quise amar. Solo una oportunidad, luego me voy. Sería chimba demostrarte quién yo soy, bebé.
Ooh, sexy voiceover. Look at that. Miami, the Jaguar F-Type R. This summer, Miami Miles drives this shit on Miami roads. Ooh, sexy drone shot. Let's hit it.
So as I make a right onto Ocean Drive, I immediately realize that I'm probably not just the brokest person, but the least famous taking videos on this street right now. It's really cool to go on this drive, but it's pretty damn stressful. Look at all these people. Look at all the people just randomly walking across the street. The cool thing about this car though is that it's damped so well and it goes over bumps so well that you can honestly enjoy a stressful driving situation like this really well. And you can look around and see the beautiful buildings of Ocean Drive, and you know, you start kind of coming to this realization that you know you're blessed. And I love this car because it enhances that feeling that you're blessed. Listen to this. I'm on South Beach driving an F-Type R with a supercharged V8 that sounds immense. Oh dude, this car is good, but you guys don't come to Miami Miles for these soft drives on Ocean Drive. No, you come for me to take this little finger and press the dynamic select button. Let's go. Oh, this car is a deviant. Yes, 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 and I can't go too fast. I'm going 45 miles an hour and it feels like I'm gonna rip my face off with the supercharged grunt of this engine. Oh my goodness, it's so torquey and it only has 516 pound-feet. And the crazy thing is that it weighs so much that I feel like the character of the engine hides the heft because I'm smiling the whole time. So yes, we went from super calm on Ocean Drive to a little bit of a turn up. But now guys, in a moment, I'm gonna merge onto the freeway. I'm gonna wring this thing's neck to see how it pulls in the upper 90, 100, 110 miles an hour.
Perdiendo mi mente en I feel it. Distracciones como I need it. Yeah, it hurts so much but I need it. I need to feel it. Las cosas en la vida siempre duelen. Solo tenemos una vida. No lo pierdas. Si necesitas llora, llora, llora. Las cosas se mejoran. La vida no llora por ti.
Let's go! As we merge onto the freeway, and this thing starts to deliver its torque. The first thing that you notice is how it cracks off those shifts. That is intense, and it's crazy because in Miami you always have to merge onto a bunch of traffic, but this thing is exciting because of that right there. What? That is just ridiculous. Dude, what a experience. Oh, onto the brakes. Onto the brakes. Okay, let me calm down and give you guys some coherent thoughts. This car is currently in full dynamic engine, dynamic steering, dynamic brakes, dynamic gear shift, and dynamic suspension. Everything is in its hardest mode. And to be honest, it still feels super soft, but it's exciting. It's not so fast that it blows your face off. Like I'm sure my GT3 would pull hard on this thing. And don't get me wrong, it does have 575 horsepower, but it doesn't have those supercharged horsepowers that we're so accustomed to. Instead, it builds power in a progressive manner until it hits a crescendo of supercharged grunt. I love this engine. I do wish it had probably an extra 100 horsepower, and that probably has to do with the heft of the car. At 3,840 pounds, it is a heavy boat, and it does take a little bit of diligence to get the car to actually build speed. Like I had my foot all the way down there in second gear, and that's finally when it starts building at 6,500 RPM. That being said, this is a very characterful power plant. It's an incredible engine, and that engine is mated to this gearbox, which cracks off shifts in a way that's uncanny for a gearbox that's simply just a slush box. I believe this is a ZF gearbox, and it cracks off shifts in a way that it makes most other dual clutches just feel ashamed, and it adds an air of excitement and of sports car fizz to this experience. Listen to that downshift on a car with a damn slush box as I go onto the anchors and I calm down just a little bit, encountering this traffic. I realize that this thing is special. Sure, it's designed to be a GT car. Sure, it's heavy. Sure, it's not the most nimble thing in the world, but it's very exciting. Okay, what about the steering? Well, the steering in its most dynamic setting is actually pretty responsive. Like, the car does have some roll. This thing is not cornering flatly by any stretch of the imagination. As a matter of fact, when I turn the wheel, I feel the body pitch and roll. And I know it's not like meant to be a GT3 or GT4, but I think it could be a little bit sharper. And I think that's probably the reason why Jag had to go and make these things all-wheel drive and make them so damn heavy, because at rear-wheel drive this thing would be a handful. This thing would be almost impossible to drive. But the fact that it's all-wheel drive means that you have grip and means that you have safety and security. So at no point do you feel in danger for your life. So as I come around this turn at 32 miles an hour in first gear, I'm gonna put my foot all the way down. Nothing happened, just delivers the power. And then onto the brakes. That's one thing I can't complain about. These brakes are actually excellent. Oh my goodness, they've got so much force, so much feel, and they deploy in such a progressive manner. Here I go again. Foot all the way down. Foot all the way down. I'm about to hit the camera guy in the front. Brakes! Woo! Damn! These brakes are delicious. So, brakes are really good. And honestly, apart from the brakes and all the other stuff that have really given me this, very, very good feeling all over my body, I think that this car is supremely comfortable. The way that these seats hug you and support your lower back, this interior, which I've talked about, it is mwah. Honestly, I see why people drive cars like this, and I feel like this car, because it is older, I feel like people kind of put it off. They don't give it the respect that it deserves. But those of you that haven't driven one, you downshift it into first, put the window down, and put the foot all the way down, upshift onto the anchors, over a couple lanes. Let's see how we can pull here. Okay, onto the brakes. Can't go too crazy because we've got a bunch of lunatics driving on the beach to South Beach. Oh! So ladies and gentlemen, I like this thing. I like this thing a lot, but let me calm down. Let me pull over and mull over what I really feel about this car. Where does it fit in? Would I buy one? Let's head over to a beautiful, unknown location and let you know. Oh, the Jaguar F-Type R. What can I say about this thing besides the fact that this is one of the most exciting cars I've ever driven? And I know I keep saying that about a lot of cars. You're like, Mickey, you love everything. Well, Johnny, look, man. God, I keep scheduling these drives with these amazing automobiles, but this 2021 variant is one of the best cars on a road that I've driven because of its engine, its exhaust, everything, the way that the experience kind of grabs you from behind and, it embraces you. I love this thing. And before I give you my conclusion as to whether or not I would buy one, let's look at the outside really quick. The car is gorgeous. I love the new front for 2021. I love how it integrates into the rear with this quad exit exhaust. And then you have the legendary squinting rear tail lights. This thing looks like a Jaguar ready to pounce, no pun intended. So the $1 million question, guys, would I buy one? Now I'm probably gonna go broke, my wife will likely leave me, but the answer to this car is hell yes, I would buy one. I would buy the shit out of this. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed that video, go down below, give me a thumbs up or give me a subscribe. I look forward to seeing you next video. Take care.
Es que Dios sabe por qué me la quito. Yo de lejos como un ovni. Le hice a todo que soy su homie. Pero en la cama nos comíamos y sabemos que eso era más que un hobby. Bebé sé que tiene la táctica, pero yo tenía la técnica. Él solamente te hace llorar. Yo en la cama te ponía a gritar. Pero se perdió el interés. No es lo mismo si mi